less than a week apart, the huge anti-abortion march on Washington. It followed massive women's marches around the world, demanding respect from President Trump. In 1970, women also marched, demanding respect and equality from President Nixon. Recently, I had a flashback to a scene in the White House in 1993.
How long do you think it'll be, Mr. President, before there's a first husband?
Not long. Not long. I think there'll be a woman will be elected president probably in my lifetime. I certainly hope that one will have a chance to run.
I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton.
For many women, the outcome of this presidential election, bitter disappointment. For others, it was a cause for celebration.
Women say we didn't break the glass ceiling. There were a lot of women who voted against a woman. What does this moment say to you about where women are?
The glass ceiling, I have a little trouble with. I don't think that...
You have trouble with the name?
I have trouble with the idea that this was the one in which the glass ceiling should have been broken. I think a lot of other women are saying, it's not a gender issue for me. I want to make sure my husband has a job and I have a job and my kids can go to college. That's what it's about for me. I grew up in a family where the women could do it all. And my grandmother and mother's fortitude gave me an enduring lesson on what a woman could do. Like many of her generation, however, my mother never got a chance to pursue her own career dreams. My mother wanted to be a journalist. She was bright as hell, graduated from high school at 16. College cost $100 a year. There was no way she could afford it. Instead, she found jobs, one at the post office. And soon her aspirations were not for herself, but for her 3 sons. I came of age in a white man's world, and women were not allowed to compete on the same level. The smartest students in our school were all women. Meredith and I got married. She graduated with honors. I had kind of stumbled through college. I got a job right away. She could not get a job because they would say to her, oh, honey, you're young, newlywed, you're going to get pregnant, and then you won't be of much use to us.
Today, most women are still at the same tedious jobs.
In 1970, NBC News did a groundbreaking series on the women's movement, reported by the handful of NBC News female correspondents, including Liz Trotta.
By the time she reaches high school, a girl has been brainwashed by parents and relatives into believing that her life must go in a direction that is different from that of her brother. She's a housewife in training. Rare is the girl who wants to be a doctor, an engineer, or a pilot.
Even then, these Minnesota high school students were still debating whether women should go to college.
And like the women, what did they do? They start playing and they start making, just educating themselves so they can go to college so that they can get a man.
Oh. But soon, the social turmoil in the country unleashed an undeniable force: women.
Hey, what do you say? Ratify the ERA.
I think we're so used to a dearth of women in leadership that we basically expect it, and our expectations need to be much higher.
Sheryl Sandberg, the chief operating officer of Facebook, author of the bestseller Directed to Women, called Lean In. The world in which you live, the digital world, is very heavy on math skills, engineering skills, and women have stayed away from those for a long time. Is that going to change, you think?
Well, it has to change. And it is going in the wrong direction, as you say. So in 1985, women were 35% of computer science degrees in this country. Now, granted, there were very few of those. But now, as the field has grown, women are 17, 18%. We expect boys to be better at math and science and computer science. Therefore, teachers give them more encouragement. Therefore, they see the role models. Therefore, they continue to go into those fields.
Sandberg wrote her best-selling book to encourage women to overcome what she sees as a built-in bias.
We actually don't like women and leadership, and that is the core of the problem. When a woman leads, it doesn't feel comfortable, and we inherently dislike it. And that's what needs to change. And when that changes, we won't have a glass ceiling anymore.
I, Nikki Randalla Haley.
Nikki Haley knows firsthand about shattering glass ceilings. A daughter of Indian immigrants, Sikhs, she was the first female governor of South Carolina and now President Trump's ambassador to the UN. I need not tell you, there's been a big, big debate about the place of women at the upper level of American politics. How do you see the glass ceiling in politics?
Everybody likes to talk about the glass ceiling, and all the glass ceiling is, can we break that first barrier? That's not what's really important. It's when you break it, what you do with it, the job that you do after.
Are we going to see more women in executive positions, do you think, as we go forward?
I hope so. I mean, they're 51% of the voting population, and when you look at the things that women do, they balance extremely well. They know what it's like to manage finances. They know what it's like to manage a family. They know what it's like to worry about the world. The only reason we don't have as many women running is because they just question themselves so much. Women win when they run. It's just we need more of them to jump out there and get to where they say they can do it.
I've seen the changes in expectations for women in my own family.
How have those 3 daughters of yours changed your perspective?
Our girls caught the wave. There was no question about whether or not they could have careers and if they chose to, could have marriages. Our youngest daughter chose to become a single mother. That's a new form of motherhood, and it's worked out extremely well. The other 2 have traditional marriages. One's a doctor, the other one's a professional, as you know, in the music and entertainment industry. They've never not worked kind of full time, but they've raised their own very strong daughters. What I love about my grandchildren is that they've been raised to be fearless.
How do you tell them to lean in?
You know, they mostly advise me.
They tell you to lean in.
They tell me to lean in.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.